Replacing Cam Skattebo is not going to be easy, but Kanye Udoh is here to tell you exactly why he's ready to take up that mantle.
You are Locked On Sun Devils, your daily podcast on the Arizona State Sun Devils. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome back to the Locked On Sun Devils podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. My name's Richie Bradshaw, and I will be your guide for everything Arizona State Sun Devils. Thanks as always for tuning in to make us your first listen of the day, and a shout out to my everydayers who are here every day. I am sitting down with brand new running back Kanye Udoh to the Sun Devils after some time at Army. As we sit down and discuss today, I want to make sure that we let you know that today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Super Bowl 59 is here. There's no better way to make every play more exciting than with FanDuel Sportsbook. New customers bet just $5. If you win, you'll score $200 in bonus bets. Download the app or head to FanDuel.com today. Kanye, thank you so much for carving out some time for us today. I know that a lot of the listeners here for Locked On Sun Devils have been looking forward to sitting down and getting to know you.
Yeah, of course. I appreciate you, and I appreciate all the fans. So it was pretty easy to carve out some time for you guys.
Much appreciated, my friend. If you don't mind, let's start with your time at Army. The first thing I'm curious about is being at a military academy. That's much different than being at just some normal state university like Arizona State or any other place in the country. What's the experience like at a military school?
It's definitely a grind. Like every day is hard. Nothing's really easy. You're gonna be busy 24/7. Like you really just had to have everything together, be extremely organized, be really determined, and just be willing to put in the work.
Looking at the way that they play football out there, it's very, very run heavy. And obviously you were someone that got a lot of the carries when you were back there, but what was that style of offense like for you compared to when you played in high school or any kind of Pop Warner that you did growing up? What was that offense like?
The triple option offense. Well, my first year was more of like a spread option, but then this year, my sophomore year, we did more of the triple option under center stuff. But that triple option under center offense is really just like a very downhill, like man on man, just tough guy offense, really. But then we also did some things out of the shotgun. We also did some things out of the spread. It was a little bit of diversity in there. It wasn't just all like downhill and straight run you over type of offense, but there was some diversity in there. We did some spread. We did different type of running schemes and all that other type of stuff. But it was a good experience, and I feel like I learned a lot. It taught me some skills that I'll use now as a ball carrier, and I'll take with me throughout my career.
Yeah, Army, not just really versatile on the offense, but they were one of the more explosive offenses in the country this year. They had a lot of success en route to their conference win. You guys played all sorts of good teams this year, and the offense was one of the biggest reasons for that. What was how do I want to word this? Like the way that the offense was run, what do you think led to the most success for you guys?
I would say teams really didn't know how to defend it because like you're going against different type of offenses, like shotgun offenses, spread offenses all week, and people were trying to or week in week out, and people were trying to throw the ball, or people were trying to get people outside, throwing screens, doing a whole bunch of different stuff. Then you play Army, and it's like an entire different experience. And your scout team really can't replicate a triple option offense like the way the Army ran it. So it was really hard to get a look. And the first time you're really seeing the offense be ran is game day. So it was really hard to prepare against. And then we obviously executed very well. The offensive line and everybody else really did their thing. So I think that's really what led to our success throughout the season.
You had a lot of success as well, going over 1,000 yards, scoring double-digit touchdowns. What were some of the things that led to the success that you had? Because with 179 carries, turning that into over 1,100 yards, there's got to be some stuff going right for you. Obviously, you doing the work yourself, but what else kind of helped you get to the production that you had?
My teammates. I would say my offensive line definitely helped, but okay, yeah. So I feel like I really took that time during the offseason to really work on the little things, and I think that's really what bolstered my success this season.
Gotcha. What does some of that off-season work look like for you, or when you're not on the field? I imagine it's a lot of hitting the gym and everything like that. What do you do to stay in shape and ready to go and be better than you were?
Right. Obviously, you have the regular like strength coach workouts, running and lifting and all that stuff that you do with the team. But then extra stuff I would do, just watching old reps of myself, watching reps of different running backs throughout the country who were some of the best at the time, just learning everything I can from them and just looking at, like, say I would go back to a game my freshman year. I'll look at everything I did wrong, like write it down, understand why I did it wrong, understand why I need to do it better. Then maybe I'll go find another running back who's doing it right, then look at their tape and look at their film and learn from them. So I really attack that mental part of the game, but then also like I would look at game reps and I'll try to replicate the game reps on the field and train that way. So that way I could always like get that experience. So that way in the game it'll be more natural for me.
A lot of guys that carried the ball last year for Army. There was 11 running backs, just running backs, not quarterbacks, not anybody else who touched the ball last year. None of them touched the ball more than you when it came to the carries out of the backfield and everything. What were some of the things that helped separate you from the rest of your teammates that earned your coach's trust to be the bell cow out of the backfield?
Right. Like I said, just the work. I think the coaches really respected me and the way that I worked throughout and like my freshman year. My freshman year I didn't start till like week 4, week 5. So they watched me work my way up out the depth chart coming. So when you're at Army, right? Fall camp is right after basic training. So when you're a freshman, you do basic training, then you go to fall camp, like literally right afterwards. So they watched me come out of basic training, go through fall camp, work my way up from the freshman squad all the way up to the starting role. And I think that really earned their respect and that earned their trust. So I just took it and ran with it.
Combining basic training with all the practices for the actual football play itself, how intense is that? I can only imagine how tiring and exhausted you must have been by the
Right.
end of all of that.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely. You definitely get tired, but you just got to do it. Some things you just got to get up and do. So just taking on that mindset.
Mindset was one of the things that led you to so much success. I'm interested about your mindset to what brought you to Arizona State. And we're going to talk about that coming up in just a moment. This is the Locked On Sun Devils podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Let me talk to you about our friends over at Prize Picks. The big game, Super Bowl 59, right around the corner, and it's more exciting with Prize Picks, the best place for daily fantasy sports with over 10 million members and billions in winnings awarded. Prize Picks makes it fun and simple to get in on the action. It works really simple. You pick more or less on at least 2 players' projections, and if you're right, you can win up to 1,000 times your cash. Prize Picks even has a free pick for the big game where Patrick Mahomes only needs to throw 1 yard to win. Pair that with one more correct pick, and you're going to cash out. This week, I'm going to be looking pretty hard at any of those Travis Kelce yards. I just have a feeling if this is his last game, he's probably going to go out in style. What I love most about Prize Picks, though, it's fast, safe withdrawals. When I win, my cash is in my account in as little as 15 minutes. Check out the promos tab to see any super sweet Millie winners big game lineups. If you tail one of those lineups and it goes 3 for 3, you can win a split of 1 million in promo funds. Download the app today and use code LOCKEDONCollege to get $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONCollege for $50 instantly after you place your first lineup. Prize Picks, run your game. Thanks to everyone for tuning in and making Locked On Sun Devils your first listen of the day. And a shout out to my everydayers who are here every day, sitting down with new Sun Devils running back Kanye Udoh. And very, very excited for you being here at Arizona State. And that's where I want to start the conversation is why ASU? Why was ASU the choice for you? There was a lot of schools that were after your services, and you decided to come to Tempe, Arizona.
Right. Yeah. I would say that going through the recruiting process already in high school, then like learning about it, and obviously having a whole bunch of friends who went through it. Going into the transfer portal, I really knew what I was looking for, and I was looking for a staff that really wanted to build something great, who had all the pieces to build something great, who was committed to it, who really had their stuff together. And when I came to ASU, that's what I saw with Coach Dillingham, with the players already on the team, with the environment, with the people that they had, with the entire staff. So I knew this was a place that I wanted to be, and that's something that I wanted to be a part of. I wanted to be a part of what they were building. So I decided to come here and, put the forks up and all that other stuff. So I'm happy with my decision, and I love it so far.
We're happy you're here too, because there's big shoes to fill, which we'll talk about in just a moment. But I want to ask you about running backs coach Sean Aguano and offensive coordinator Marcus Arroyo. What were some of the things that you talked to them about that really got you to buy into it just from those two individually?
Right. Coach Arroyo, both of them have a great track record, obviously, Coach Aguano and Coach Arroyo. Like their reputation speaks for themselves. But just meeting with them, I remember my individual meeting with Coach Arroyo, he really broke it down to me in the offense, exactly where I need to be used and what he sees from me and what value I can bring to the team. And, he wasn't just talking because we all saw it in practice with Skattebo. So being able to see what Skattebo did just last season and seeing how he wants to use his running backs. And then Coach Aguano, he had six of his last running backs coach went to the NFL. Yeah, that's a great track record. So just being a part of those two and what they have planned for me, it's huge.
If you are aiming for the NFL, then Sean Aguano is definitely going to be one of those guys to get there. One of the things that Coach Aguano does so well is incorporating the running backs in so many different ways, whether it's catching the football or sitting in pass protection. There's all sorts of stuff that he's going to ask you to do. What is something that maybe you didn't do too much at Army, or maybe something that you're looking to improve on as you get to Arizona State that you expect to be asked a lot out of you with Coach Aguano and just the offense in general?
Right. I obviously getting involved in the passing game. At Army, we might have thrown the ball 2, 3 times a game. And it wasn't, and it wasn't towards the running back. So just, being able to showcase that part of my game, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be huge. Coach Aguano already, getting us all ready to go out there and get involved in the receiving game. So it's something that I've already started working on and just, getting comfortable doing. It's something that I can do. I haven't been able to showcase it at Army, but just making sure that I'm comfortable enough to do it in the game and, not mess it up. So just getting in there and putting in the work. That's really all it comes down to.
What's kind of your style when it comes to catching the football? Are you the guy who makes someone miss in the open field? Are you going to put your shoulder down and lay someone out? When the ball gets in your hands as a receiver, what should we expect from you?
Oh, after the catch?
Yes.
After the catch, no DB should be tackling me. Say that. Whatever way it goes, no DB should be able to tackle me. So, yeah, just being able to make people miss, break tackles, whatever is required. One-on-one with somebody, they're not taking me down. So,
I mean, I know I'm signing up for that, and everyone else is signing up for that too.
great.
Besides the coaching staff, what was some of the stuff that sold you on Arizona State University itself? Was the academic something that really intrigued you? Was it the weather? Was it the golf courses? Maybe your teammates? What were some of the things that not just the football program that inspired you to come here, but other factors that brought you to this place?
Right. Obviously, the weather. The weather is much better than on the East Coast. But really just the opportunity I had academically as well. Next year, I'm planning to graduate early. Then, what would be my senior year, I would do my master's. So having that opportunity is huge for me, and being able to get my master's paid for, and it's just really a blessing. So taking advantage of those opportunities, and focusing on school, and I feel like this is also a good place for me to do that. So it made my decision even easier.
Yeah, President Crow has done a lot of great things for the academics at Arizona State over the last several years that he's been here. If you don't mind my asking, what are you studying right now?
Right now, I'm studying psychology.
Oh, good for you. That'll be
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, then I plan
Diving
to
into
get
the
my
mind.
master's. I plan to get my master's in business. So
Oh, wow. Very nice. Well, here's hoping that you can get that done ASAP with ASU. I know you were saying you're aiming to graduate next year, which is crazy. It took me 7 years to get done with college, but I maybe if I paid more attention in school and stopped working full-time jobs at the same time, I could have graduated as quickly as you did.
yeah, maybe that would have helped a little bit.
Well,
You got to do what
everyone's
you got
got
to
their own
do.
travels.
Yep, there's nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing wrong with that at all.
Not at all. When you look at this team, what are some of the things you're excited to work with your teammates, but more specifically, the other running backs. What's so exciting about getting to meet them and work with them?
They're all good people. They took me with open arms. Alton, Raleek, Kyson Brown, all those guys. They're really just, and DeMarcus, the freshman too. They all really just looked out for me, and JB, the freshman as well. They all just took me on open arms, showed me the ropes, showed me, things about the program and the culture. Just helped me out. They're all good people, and I'm excited to work with them.
Who were some of the first players to reach out to you? Not maybe it was one of the running backs that reached out to you first, but just of anyone on the roster, who was one of the first guys that reached out to you to make a connection?
Before I committed, I was planning my visit to ASU. The receiver Noble Johnson actually reached out to me. Yeah, so he kind of helped recruiting before I even committed here, before I even stepped foot
Gotcha.
on campus. So he was the first person to reach out to me, and stuff like that is huge. It goes a long way.
Yeah. Oh, when another transfer is telling you to come to the program, I imagine that's something that very much caught your attention.
Yeah, yeah, definitely did.
What do you think about this team and the way that they want to run it back with Sam Levitt returning and the coaching staff returning? How do you feel about getting back to the college football playoff and repeating as Big 12 champions? I know you're all in, but I want to hear from the man himself.
Right. Obviously that's from what I've seen so far, that's the standard. That's the baseline expectation, making it back to the college football playoffs and winning another championship. I wasn't here last season when they won a championship, but I was at Army when we won our conference championship.
Yeah, you're used
So
to that.
yeah, so I have that mindset, I have that mentality. I know what it takes, and I'm just blessed to be a part of another team and help them get there as well. I feel like we can really do it. We have the guys, like you said, we have the entire coaching staff returning. We have guys like Sam Levitt returning. So we have all the pieces. It's really just on us. How are we going to execute?
Time for the tough question.
Okay.
You got to step in for Cam Skattebo, one of the program legends.
Mm-hmm.
What does that feel like to know the shoes that you're stepping into? Is there a lot of pressure? Are you super confident in yourself, or maybe a mix of both?
Right. I'm excited. A guy like me, like I feel the pressure, but I love it. Like I love the opportunity. Like this is what every athlete in the country dreams of, having this opportunity, all eyes on you. And I'm confident in my ability to do so. If I wasn't confident in my ability to fill those shoes, I wouldn't have came here. So I'm excited. I'm ready to put in the work and just go out there and do it.
We're excited to see it too. As we round out the show, we just need to get to know the new star running back at Arizona State. That's coming up next. This is the Locked On Sun Devils podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. It's time to talk to you guys about our friends over at FanDuel Super Bowl 59. It's here, guys. One game, two teams, endless possibilities. There is no better way to make every play more exciting than with FanDuel Sportsbook. Whether it's predicting the first touchdown or calling the MVP or even betting on the coin toss, if you're a sicko like myself, FanDuel makes it easy to get in on the action. With live betting all game long, you can adjust your bets as the game unfolds and feel the thrill from kickoff to the final whistle. And their live betting feature lets you stay involved no matter what happens on the field. And the app is super easy to navigate. And knowing that you can place a $5 bet and potentially win $200 in bonus bets as a new customer for the Super Bowl, that's the icing on the cake. Download the app or head to FanDuel.com to get started. Bet just $5, and if you win, you'll score $200 in bonus bets as a new customer. That's FanDuel.com. Bet with FanDuel, official partner of Super Bowl 59. Back here again with Kanye Udoh, the transfer from Army. It's time to get to know the man himself. We are obviously excited about what you're going to bring to this football team. But what do we need to know about you, the person that we can connect with? I have a handful of questions here that I'm looking forward to asking you and getting to know you a little bit better. Are you ready for this?
Let's do it.
All right. Let's go ahead and start still talking a little bit of football. If I took running back away from you, what position would you like to play?
Would I like to play? Safety or quarterback?
Ooh, I would like to see you play safety. Coming from Army and having that mentality of knocking dudes out, you just told me you don't want DBs to tackle you. I imagine no wide receiver running back's going to be running at you either.
Right.
And then for throwing the ball, should we expect you to get some pass plays in there, or is that just a pipe dream for you?
I don't know. We'll see.
Besides football, is there any other sport that you like to play, or maybe a sport that you would love to be really good at if football was not one of those options?
I actually ran track. I used to run track. But other than track, I would say maybe baseball. Baseball's a fun sport to play, not that fun to watch to me, but it's a fun sport to play. Also boxing. At West Point, we actually had to take a boxing class, and I actually fell in love with the sport. So if I got to, if I didn't play football, I'd probably be a boxer.
You know what's funny? I have a question that is similar to that, and we're going to skip ahead to it. While we're on that topic, if you had a walk-up song for baseball, you're getting ready to go to the plate, or you're a pitcher and you're coming out there to close the game, or you're a UFC fighter, a WWE fighter, a boxer, what's your walk-up song?
That's a hard question. I would say it's a song called Lil Mo by Lil Papa. That would be my walk.
What was it again?
Lil Mo, like Lil then MOE by Lil Papa. That would be my walk-up song, I think.
I will be checking that out after the podcast when I am getting this bad boy uploaded.
You let me know what you think.
Is it like a hard rock song or a rap song, or what should I be waiting for?
It's a rap song.
Let's do it. I am all about that. Do you have any favorite pro teams, a favorite NFL team, or any other sport?
Warriors. Golden State Warriors. That's my team. I love them.
You're probably pretty happy then.
I'm happy right now. We just got Jimmy Butler. I'm excited. Hopefully we can get in there and, get back to where we're supposed to be. But the Warriors, they're my team. I love them since I was little and, diehard fan.
As a Suns fan, I was bummed out that not only did we not get Jimmy Butler, but he decided to go to one of our biggest rivals. So, that's sometimes just the way the cards fall.
You guys have enough already. Still got KD and Devin Booker.
I hope so. It's just going to be about that depth and seeing if we can compete. What are some talents that you have, not sports related? Are you a good chef? Are you a great karaoke singer? What are some of the things that you like to do, or maybe you're just good at and no one realizes?
That's a good question. I can cook a little bit. Little basic stuff. But recently I've been into cars, like a car guy type of thing.
Gotcha.
But other than that, it's hard to say right off the top of my head, but those are a couple of things.
Were you able to make it out to Barrett Jackson when it was out here last week or the week before, something like that?
No, I wasn't.
Gotcha. No, my grandfather's a real big car guy, so that's like one of those things. When it's out here, he doesn't miss it. So
Right.
that might be something. And they have all sorts of uh not replica cars, like just really old classic car shows that are all over the valley. So I'm sure that'll be something that you take a look at as well.
Yeah, I'll probably be at one of those shows one of these days.
I think you'll like it. I may not be the super big car guy, but even I can't sit there and not be impressed with some of the muscle cars that are out there. They're beautiful.
Right. Right, they are.
When you're not in the gym,
Hmm.
what are you doing? You playing video games? Are you reading? Are you watching a show or a movie? Are you hiking?
I did enough hiking type stuff at Army, so I'm not hiking. But
Probably out on that.
yeah, but usually I do like to play the video game sometimes. My favorite game is Rainbow Six Siege, if you know what that game
Oh,
is. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, it's super like try hard game, but it's fun. Then I also like watching TV. I like trying random restaurants too, like just random restaurants, like going in there and seeing if the food is good and finding something good. But it's just a couple things.
Gotcha. What are
Yeah.
some of your favorite TV shows you're watching?
I started watching Ozark. It's pretty good so far.
Oh, that is good.
Right now, I say my favorite show is probably Snowfall. If you watch that, show's pretty good.
I don't
Also,
know that one.
you have to check it out. It's pretty good. Also,
Gotcha.
The Walking Dead.
Classic.
That's a classic. Yeah.
All right. I'm going to hit you with some rapid fire questions as we get ready to round this out. It's just pick one or the other.
Okay.
All right. We'll start with the most heated sports debate of all time. Are you Jordan or LeBron?
Jordan.
Jordan. That's the right answer. I'm just making sure. Kendrick or Drake?
What did you say?
Kendrick or Drake?
Drake.
Okay. One of my best friends will absolutely love that answer. Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
No.
All right. Nope. That's another correct answer we got for you. Marvel or DC when it comes to those comic book movies?
See, if it's just the movies, Marvel. But if it's not the movies, DC.
Are you a
Like
big superhero guy at all?
I was. Yeah, I was.
Who's your favorite superhero?
The Flash.
Probably speaks a lot about you, right?
Yeah.
Batman or Superman?
mm. Batman. Actually, no. Superman. Superman. Superman.
I don't think you go wrong either way.
Superman.
All right. More intriguing or scarier, you decide, space or the ocean?
Space.
I'm right there with you. And
Space.
last question, dogs or cats?
Dogs. 100% dogs.
Look at that. You got all of my answers correct if I decided to keep any scores like that. Kanye, I really appreciate you coming on. Is there anything you want to say, anything you would like to promote for yourself as we wrap this bad boy up?
Just excited to go out there and play and represent you guys well. Let's get after it this season.
Let's get out there. Spring ball's around the corner, and we'll be sure to keep you up to date on everything going on with Kanye and the rest of Sun Devils football. So I will catch you guys next time here on Locked On Sun Devils. Until then, you keep it locked right here on Locked On Sun Devils.